What is up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. It's been a while since I've had a chance to get some barbecue done, and I just got off the road, so I figured, you know what, let's go ahead and knock some of that out. Now, I'm a little tight for time, things like that. Didn't want to put a whole lot of effort into it, so I was going to Costco originally to buy some beef short ribs. They didn't have any, but I saw these pre-seasoned Kirkland baby back ribs. So you know what? I figured we would give these a try, do kind of a review on those as far as, you know, seasoning, coverage, trimming, things like that. And team that up with kind of a review from a company called Mama Jeans that sent me some roasted garlic barbecue sauce a while back. Haven't tasted it. Still got the seal on it, so we're going to be kind of reviewing these kind of in tandem together. So what I'm going to do is we're going to be cooking these on a pellet smoker. Like I said, I'm really not wanting to put a whole bunch of effort into this. Still kind of tired from being on the road all that time, so we're going to be using our pellet smoker. We're going to be using whatever, I think I have some competition blend wood pellets we're going to be using out there, and we're going to be cooking them kind of in that, you know, basic 270 degree, 270, 275 degree range. And we're not going to be getting fancy. We're not going to be wrapping them or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go straight from this package onto the grill and kind of get my thoughts as far as the trimming, seasoning, coverage, things like that once we get out there. So I'm going to get my smoker heated up and then I'll meet you outside. Now the grill I'm going to be using today is a pellet smoker called a Z grill, and the main reason I'm using this grill is this just happens to be the one pellet smoker that I have that's already clean, so that's how I made that decision. Now let's get these ribs on. Now what I really want to take a look at is how they're trimmed and the coverage as far as seasoning goes. Alright. Now I'm using tongs just because I don't have any rubber gloves with what's going on with this virus and everything. Now here's one thing I can tell you. None of the membrane's been removed off the back, and there's no seasoning on the back. So that's one complaint that I have about these pre-seasoned ribs right now. As far as the rest of the coverage, seems to be alright. Now I might have trimmed this up a little bit better myself as well. Let's take a look at this other rack. And we have the same thing. And these were supposed to be baby back ribs. I don't know, those look like regular ribs to me. I don't know. Anyway, so here's what we're looking like as far as the ribs go. The coverage on the top seems to be good. What I'm going to do is cook these at about 260, 270 degrees until they start bending, and then we'll take a look at them, see if they need to go any longer. Then we're going to throw our barbecue sauce on. Now our sauce, like I said, we're going to be using that Mama Jeans sauce. I am going to heat that up just to make it a little bit easier to brush over these ribs when we get to that point. So we'll check back on these in a couple hours. So we are about 3 hours in on this cook, and one thing I can say is I do like the color that they have. Let me pick that up so you can take a look. Now, as far as the bend, it's not really bending the way we'd like, so it's definitely not anywhere close to getting cooked. I did turn this down to about 250 degrees since I had a little bit more time than I was anticipating. And one thing I don't like about it is that backside just does not look really all that appealing without having any seasoning on it. And like I said, I would normally take the membrane off my ribs. You know, let me come over here and take this little snack right quick and see what this tastes like. That rub is actually a really good rub. But looks like we have at least another 2 more hours to go. So I'm going to shut this down. We'll take a look at another couple hours. Well, guys, I must say that these ribs are looking good. I just took a vote between my wife and my neighbors, and they want these to be fall off the bone. So normally I'd go ahead and brush these up with some sauce now. I'm gonna let them go a little bit longer, sauce them up, and it should be a wrap. So these ribs aren't quite done yet. Still not quite the bend that I want, but I am gonna throw our sauce on here. So let me throw that rack up on top. And I'm going to sauce the bottom. I definitely want to make sure that I get this bottom side sauced up. Like I said, I'm normally about pulling off the membrane and adding sauce to the bone side of the ribs, but we're just going to go with what Costco gave us. Now, the one reason I like heating up this barbecue sauce is it does thin it out a little bit. So once this is done getting cooked, it's not going to look like you have lacquer or something on it. It's going to have a nice sheen to it. Now, there's other techniques that I will use to give it this appearance. Like I will wrap it with butter and barbecue sauce and kind of let that kind of turn into a glaze and then reglaze it. But we're keeping these very simple. Okay, I'm good with that. Off camera, I'm gonna pull this other rack down, get that sauced up. I'm gonna let them go a while longer. I definitely want to make sure I get that bend in the ribs. Maybe a little bit more pull back in these bones as well. Now we're about 5.5 hours in on this. Have our sauce already on here. Now, that's really kind of not the bend that you're looking for, but one thing I needed to realize that I kind of forgot about, I kept waiting for them to want to bend, but remember we got this thick membrane on the back. That's kind of what's keeping it from bending right there. So these are done. I'm going to pull these off, get them inside, cut them up, taste them, and see what's up with the flavor with this pre-seasoning and with this Mama Jeans. And this was a garlic barbecue sauce. So that's what they look like all cooked up. Let's get into this. Now, like I said, these were Costco ribs. They were already pre-seasoned. Like I said, typically I would like to remove that membrane, and we are going to be testing out this Mama Jeans roasted garlic barbecue sauce as well, which is what I put on those ribs. So let's get in. And I'm not sure if this is bringing it in, but you do see a nice smoke ring that damn near goes through the entire rib, so that's a plus. That smoker put some good action on there. One thing I am noticing though, see this little membrane? We're just going to pull that right off. So that is one of the things I will say. Now, if you buy some ribs that are pre-seasoned and then you try to pull the membrane off, you're going to be pulling off all that seasoning too. So I guess that's something that you just got to live with. So let's get in. And these are some baby back ribs. They are some larger ones. Almost didn't look like that when I first opened up that pack. Okay, as far as the seasoning goes, on the ribs, I might have gone with a little bit more of a sweeter base on that rib. Barbecue sauce is tasty. I will leave a link in the description where you can get this. MamaJeans.com or something like that. But like I said, link will be in the description. This particular barbecue sauce was a roasted garlic. I don't get a whole lot of garlic out of it, but it is pretty good. Not bad for my first time on the smoker in a good few months. I'm gonna finish knocking out these, a couple more of these ribs. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. No Hippie BBQ. If you want to follow me on my trucking channel, check me out on No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. Anyway, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.